I heard my downstairs neighbor call my name at 2:41 a.m. The problem? She wasn't home, and whatever it was, knew I was awake. I live in a rented duplex just outside a quiet college town, the kind of place where nothing ever seems to happen. And that's exactly why I chose it. The house is split vertically. I live on the upper floor. The lower unit belongs to a woman named Elena, a travel nurse who's rarely home. Most weeks, she stays at her partner's place 2 towns over. When she's gone, the house feels hollow, like it's holding its breath. I'm 27 years old. I've lived alone long enough to think fear shouldn't bother me anymore. But fear doesn't care about logic, especially at night. That night, I was in my living room watching a horror movie. My upstairs unit is one large open space. Kitchen, dining area, and living room all blended together. My couch sits in the center, facing the TV. Behind it, nothing but darkness. An open stretch of floor leads into the kitchen, then a hallway that disappears into shadows. The only light came from the TV, flickering across the walls. Every time the music in the movie swelled, I felt the urge to look behind me, and every time I did, nothing was there. Still, my instincts wouldn't settle. When the movie ended, I turned everything off, locked the door, and went to bed. I woke up suddenly. No dream, no noise at first. Then I heard it, a voice, downstairs, quiet, hesitant, like someone unsure whether they should speak at all. It said my name. I sat up in bed, heart pounding. I recognized the voice immediately. It sounded exactly like Elena. Clear, familiar, not distorted, not muffled. But she wasn't supposed to be home. I checked my phone. 2:41 a.m. Half asleep, I tried to reason with myself. Maybe she came back early. Maybe something happened. Maybe she needed help. I stepped into the hallway and turned on the light. As I reached the top of the stairs, the voice came again. My name. This time, closer. I called down, asking if everything was okay. My voice echoed awkwardly, swallowed by the stairwell. No response. I went downstairs. The main light switch near the entryway didn't work. I stood there in the dark longer than I should have, staring into the lower hallway. Something felt wrong. Still, I moved forward. I found the kitchen switch and flipped it on. The downstairs unit was empty. No shoes by the door, no jacket on the chair, no sign anyone had been there. I checked the living area, the bathroom, finally her bedroom, empty. I exhaled, embarrassed at myself, convinced I'd let my imagination run wild. That's when I heard it, a loud thud. From inside the bedroom I had just checked. My chest tightened. I stepped back inside. Nothing had moved. Nothing was on the floor. The room was exactly the same. I didn't stay long enough to think. I ran back upstairs, locked my bedroom door, and sat on my bed gripping my phone. I called Elena, straight to voicemail. I didn't sleep much after that. The next morning I woke up to a text from Elena. "Hey, why did you call me last night?" I asked if she had been home. Her reply came quickly. "No, I'm still at my partner's." "Why?" I didn't know how to explain what I'd heard. I searched the downstairs unit again in daylight. Nothing was out of place. No signs of entry, no explanation. I told myself it had been a half dream. I had to. A few nights later, it happened again. I wasn't watching a movie this time. I was reading in bed when I heard footsteps below me. Slow, careful, like someone trying not to be heard. Then came the voice, not calling my name, just breathing. I didn't go downstairs, I didn't respond. I stayed perfectly still. The footsteps stopped. Then I heard it, a whisper, directly beneath my bedroom floor. "I know you're awake." I slept with the lights on until sunrise. I tried to tell myself it was the house settling, that maybe the wind carried sounds, but something about the sound of that whisper wasn't natural. It was deliberate, a voice choosing words to terrify. I moved out 2 weeks later. Before leaving, I asked Elena if she'd ever heard voices in the house. She paused before answering. Then she said something I wish I'd never heard. The previous tenant left suddenly. He told the landlord the house learned how to sound like people. I don't know what was in that house, but I know one thing. Whatever it was, it didn't need a body. It only needed a voice. I can still hear it sometimes when I'm alone. A name whispered in the dark, a sound that doesn't belong. I remember sitting in my new apartment, lights off, thinking about it. The house was waiting. I imagined the shadows stretching, corners bending, the walls whispering back my name. Even now, I can't explain it. Maybe it was a spirit. Maybe the house itself was alive. All I know is it doesn't need a body, and it doesn't forget. Some nights I think about going back to see if it's still there, but then I hear the voice in my head. I know you're awake, and I stop. I remember the way it felt to hear footsteps outside my bedroom, the door handle jiggling. I remember seeing nothing, yet feeling watched. People say old houses have noises. I say some noises are warnings. Not all shadows are harmless. Some are waiting, watching, patient. Some are learning. If you're ever alone in a quiet house, remember sometimes it's better not to investigate. Even if you hear your name, even if you're certain someone you know is calling, because whatever it is, it doesn't need a body. It only needs a voice.